Alright, hey you guys, it is TsubakiSwagg and I'm coming to you with my review of Terraformars episode 6, 2 minutes. Okay, this anime is so freaking awesome. And if y'all missed the first 3 episodes being redone without the censoring, they were so fucking awesome. Oh my god, I was not ready. There was so much blood and guts and just amazingness this episode. So these episodes are so freaking awesome. The show is so freaking awesome. I was not prepared for this show. But in this episode, of course, it picks up where the last one left off at, and we see Michelle. She got dragged into the lake by a water beetle hybrid roach. I guess that's what I'm going to call it. A water roach. That's what I'm going to call it. She got dragged into the water by a water roach. And Akari is fighting a grasshopper roach hybrid. And everybody else is, well, first they were all defending their ship. Because the people who cannot fight stayed inside the ship. Or the people who are not as strong as the top ranking bugs stayed inside the ship, so they started fighting. Akari's fight with the three roachmen was so freaking badass. I was not ready. And Michelle, oh my god, Michelle is just awe-inspiring. Like, because Michelle and Akari, they are so freaking dope. Like, Michelle, she has 2 bugs in her, because first the bug that her father had was passed down to her when she was born, and then she also got another one implanted into her when they did the surgery on her. So now she has 2 types of ant, like DNA inside of her body. And of course, like the normal ant, like they can pick up 3 times their size and all that good stuff. She also has the blaster ant, which literally self-destructs, but she can transfer it to other roaches and blow them up, which is so freaking awesome. Was not ready. And Akari, like, we've already seen like one of his skills, but when he goes into his, we call it beast mode. When he goes into his beast mode, outside of having the medicine inside of his body, he pretty much goes crazy, and fear and anger take over him, and he pretty much loses control of himself. But when he has the medicine, he's able to fight with all consciousness. So, I mean, that makes him so much more freaking badass. If you saw the first episode when he literally destroyed the bear, just knowing that he can do that now and control it is freaking awesome. So, after they were defending their ship and people died, I was so hurt when Sheila died last episode. Like, so hurt. Like, I was not ready for her to die yet. It was not her time. But in this episode, we see, like I said, we see Akira fighting the grasshopper type roach, and we find out that there's a possibility that some of the roaches pretty much I say consumed or took on traits from the people from the first mission that came to, or the last mission that came to Mars 20 years prior, and have adapted to their abilities. Which is why you have like the roach that had the grasshopper abilities, or the roach that can swim underwater. Just, it's crazy. It is freaking crazy. But then also we see Marcos. Marcos is freaking awesome. He is probably my favorite insect so far, because he's a fucking spider, and that spider, he was taken out. He took out at least 20 roaches, and it was so fucking badass. I was not ready. He took out like 20 roaches. And then, of course, Kamichi, the captain, took out the last one without hesitation, because he knew that Sheila was in love with him, and she literally died in his arms. So that really fucking sucks. But this episode is so freaking awesome. I'm like fangirling all over the place, and it was just freaking amazing. And Akira's fight with that roach was so fucking dope. Like, the fact that he is a moth as well, and he is able to use his strings, which slightly reminds me of Lubbock from Akame Got Killed, but Akira is much more badass. And he fucked that roach up, but the roach was way too freaking smart. Like, I don't understand how he was able to control the aircraft. Well, I do know, but I don't, so I'm not going to say anything else about that. But then also, I cannot remember his name to save my life. Marcos, his friend, he is so fucking dope. He took out the roach with like baseballs, which is freaking awesome. I was not prepared. And then Akira took out the roach underwater, and if it hadn't been, not Akira, Michelle took out the roach underwater, and if it hadn't been for Akira tying the string to her, she would have been dead. So this whole show is freaking amazing. I guess this is kind of also like a first impression because it's the first episode that I've reviewed. But this show, if you have not watched this show, go watch it now because it's so fucking awesome. I was not ready. Oh my god. Was not prepared for this awesomeness. And I will say, do not get attached to any character on this show because it feels like it's going to be another Attack on Titan all over again. So yeah. That's pretty much all I have to say about this episode. This is more me exclaiming how awesome I think this show is, but the show was pretty freaking dope. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out because we've already lost a lot of people in this show already. And things look like they're about to get even more epic in the next episode. So, as always, please remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. It helps me out a whole lot. And this is TsubakiSwagg saying adios.